I'm Ray Karsh, writer and chief editor of Corona Samizdat Press. It's a beautiful day here in Isla, Slovenia, and I finally realized, this is the time to do it. It took me longer to get to this than it did to read it and enjoy it. This is Craig McDonald's One True Sentence. And there are so many things about Craig McDonald that I could not like. I could not like his fucking Hemingway character. Using Hemingway, having Hemingway be a friend of the main guy, Hector Lassiter. I could not like his going after the surrealists a bit excessively. The bit about their tendency towards misogynism perhaps is valuable. But, to make a whole plot about that, which he does in one of his books, which I positively reviewed because I enjoyed it, I could not like that. I could hate the fact that this book, which is the first chronologically in the series and takes place in the early 20s, includes Gertrude Stein and Alice B. Toklas and Sylvia Beach and Hemingway, and it has an absurd plot. I mean, the plot is all literary, a bunch of literary small magazine editors are being murdered. And but the problem with McDonald and criticizing him and his plots is too much of what he writes is based on things that actually happened. And maybe there was a stretch of I mean, I'm not going to look this up because, it's probably fucking true, that over a 2-month period, 5 guys were killed, or gals and guys were killed, and you don't really read him for the plot. Luckily, I mean, when you read someone for the plot, you're just you're masturbating, and which is fine. You're enjoying yourself, but when you're done, you clean up and or not, and depending on your but. So I'm at that age where masturbation is just not what it used to be. Maybe for some of you that came when you were, no pun intended, that came when you were 15. I don't know, but anyway, in literature especially, I really don't want to spend a lot of time masturbating, and I don't spend any time masturbating, but I take a step away sometimes from the best literature, and I read a detective novel, but I want it to be worth my time, and all of his have been worth my time, and this one is worth my time. The plot, okay, a bunch of literary small literary magazines exist in Paris. It's the writing capital of the world. The weather's shit. Throughout this book, the weather is shit, and he makes you suffer it almost as much as his characters. That's a compliment, I think. And I hope I'm talking about the right book. It's been a few weeks since I finished it. But also, look, you get, most of his books are meaty, in meaning that they're big. This one's for almost 400. 376 pages. Now, of course, it could have been, printed in smaller letters and made to be 276, but it would still be substantial then. It's the same number of words, you see. You already thought that through, didn't you, before I did. So one up for you. So uh, his writer here, he looks a little bit like William Holden, and chicks dig him, and I guess you kind of want that in a character. The love portions of his books are well written, and you know, uh, I don't, what do you say about something like that? It's part of the formula, but he departs from formula in every book in one way or another. He sticks with he has his own formula, I suppose, but they're odd ones. The part of his formula is including by having Hector be maybe above average writer of mystery and crime novels. Uh, and giving him the same birth date as, well, maybe not the same as Hemingway, but putting him in that, it allows him to write about history and about people we know, and he does so in a convincing fashion. This one, the greatest pleasure in terms of character in this one was reading about Gertrude Stein and Alice B. Toklas. And the guy is not McDonald. I would say is definitely not sexist and pointedly feminist. In fact, in some of his writings, some of this series, but Hector's not. And so the comments about the hair on Alice B. Toklas and her needing a shave are really funny, and Gertrude Stein's bossiness is hilarious. Um, Now so you get this kind of thing throughout all of his books, and it's really well done. And I don't like Hemingway. I never liked Hemingway, except I don't know, when I was 9, I read the short stories and they were great, and but his novels suck, and I'll box anybody over Zoom about that. I used to box and pretend I was Muhammad Ali in the basement. We had a pole, and I would, shadow box. But I'd wear gloves and I could hit the pole, and so I know how to throw a punch, and I also know how to do it like Muhammad Ali. Because I'd pretend that a fist was coming, but I was too quick. Anyway, I'll fight any of you about how Hemingway sucked. An Immovable Feast. Jesus Christ, what a lad! No, that's why he killed himself. Is because that book was so bad, and he realized he wasn't going to be able to do a better one. But okay, but he's in these books, and so we have to enjoy the Craig McDonald good Hemingway. Mostly good Hemingway. He's a pal. He's a good guy. He helps out Hector. He's always ready for action, and he's a believable Hemingway. But something that McDonald did not have to put in here is that and I knew this from his biographies. I read one at least. I don't know, but they called their child Bumby. Jesus. Ugh. But that's not Craig McDonald's fault. So anyway, there's the prose is not tired, which backhanded compliment. No, but here let me just tell you how many the Hector Lassiter series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 books, and it's still not tired. There's an occasionally I'll see a line and I'll say, that happens with almost everything I read. But he is able to be fresh. I just saw Kierkegaard. He's not in the book, but somebody made a reference to Kierkegaard. McDonald is smart. He doesn't make you work too hard. I mean, he's not so smart that you have to really work to understand him. But he's writing for intelligent people, which is kind of nice for a crime novel. I recommend McDonald highly. I've been doing it every one of his. This would have been a lot longer, and so thank your lordy that I waited 2 weeks to do this. So, because all I'm going to do is basically the purpose of this is to say, Betimes Books is in Dublin, so you have to work a little bit to find the book, like go to Amazon, I don't know. And you can find his books, and they're really great. I mean, if you're going to read you're going to say, all right, this winter I'm just going to read all the books of whatever. Who's that one? Tana French? She sucks. She sucks. She's a terrible writer. She's a terrible writer. You don't even know where you are. It's in Ireland. That's why I bought a bunch at once, and God, I was pissed at myself. Just buy one, find out it sucks, and then you don't have to read the rest. And I never did read all of hers because they just sucked. But these, when you're in a place, you're in that place. He knows how to write place, and that's extremely important. Unless you're in a closet, and even then, I suppose maybe it's even all the more. That's Bortnikov. Bortnikov, also by Betimes Books. If the space is the closet, you want Bortnikov. He could do it. Anyway, this is a short one for me, and really, bye McDonald.